All right, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. You know what time it is. The Real Talk Sports Show is coming up right now. Bam! Welcome to the Real Talk Sports Show. I'm your host, the Minister Jonathan Simmons, and we are always happy and grateful to find you here, joining us here on our Saturday Sports Update. And like I said, you're getting it from probably one of the baddest men around, a guy who is multifaceted. I'm right now broadcasting to you live from the offices, my offices here at Allen Visual Ford in Lincoln. And like I said, how many guys do you know that come on? And he's broadcasting from his full-time job. He's a car dealer, guy's a preacher, sportscaster. Well, that would be moi. Like I said, we appreciate all those of you again tuning in to us, especially those who are listening to us on the airways of the legendary WIGO Paysetter 1570 on your dial. Also, WIGO1570.com for those of you who are listening online. And last but not least, did you know WIGO is on an app? That's right, we're on the TuneIn app. It's a free app. Download it. When you try to download, they'll try to make you go for the premium. You got to pay. Hit the X, put in WIGO in the search engine, 1570, and voila, you'll find us broadcasting to you right here and right now. Now, speaking of right now, for those of you who are YouTube folks, I'm going to remind you to go on to our YouTube page and and subscribe. We're inching our way slowly but surely towards that phenomenal number of 1,000 subscribers, but we can't do it without you. So please, ma'am, please, sir, go ahead and like us anywhere on social media, follow us on social media, and then more importantly, if you're on Facebook, if you're on YouTube, subscribe so we can, like I said again, make it rock and roll and do what it do here, and make it happen on YouTube. Well, a lot of stuff is going on right now in sports, guys. As you know, a lot of stuff is happening. You got the Olympics going on. You got high school football is getting ready to start. You have pro football getting ready to start. Matter of fact, excuse me, pro football has already started. You had the Hall of Fame game last night as the Bears ended up winning. I think it was 21-17 last night. And so very, very interesting as things go on in the world of sports. Also, the Olympics are going on full throttle over in Paris. Now, I got to say something here. I try not to get and bring in my own spiritual beliefs and my own, maybe political beliefs. I tried to bring that onto the show because I have a show for that, Clarion Call show, where I deal with that kind of stuff. But I got to tell you, I am really, in the best way I can describe it, shocked and appalled at some of the opening ceremonies from the French team. These guys, first of all, they made a mockery of a famous painting done by Leonardo da Vinci, which allegedly depicts the Last Supper that Christ had with his disciples. And even though we know that that's not accurate, the way those men look there, because they didn't look like that, the realities is that it is considered to be a type of Christian, a religious icon. And you know what these clowns did? They actually had the 12 people come out drag, like they were drag queens, men dressed up like women. Now, again, I'm just saying, couldn't you mock something else? I mean, why? I'm gonna tell you what my grandmama said. I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the rest of the sports highlights. My grandmother used to tell us all. She said, if you want a plaything, go get a toy, but God is not something to play with. And I just warn people that God is gracious, He's loving, He's caring, and He's forgiving. But sometimes you can do a little bit too much. And to the French Olympic opening committee or whoever was on the entertainment, you're doing too much. Matter of fact, I had a good friend of mine used to say, "You're doing the most." So again, just big X and a thumbs down to the Olympic organizers in Paris that allowed that fiasco to come on. And we'll talk about more about the Olympics in just a minute. But anyway, let's move on. Like I said, the other things going on in the world of sports besides the Olympics. Matter of fact, no, not around the Olympics. Let's do this. Let's give you an update of the Olympic medal count. And for those of you who are watching us on various platforms, I'll pop it up on the screen. The medal count right now stands this way. The United States of America is overall has the most medals. Now, I have up on the screen something that's inaccurate. It's showing 104 medals total. I don't think that's right. I think what it is, matter of fact, I know it's not right. The United States has 46 medals total, is what they have right now. That's what they have. Like this thing here, 104. I think that was from the previous Olympics. So I'm sorry for those of you who are watching me. That's not right. It's 46. It's 46 medals overall for the U.S. and they have a grand total of. Let's take a look at it here. At this time, the United States had a grand total of 9 gold medals right now as we speak. 9 gold medals for the United States, 19 silver, 18 bronze. They are far and away right now the leader in overall medal count with 46. The host country, France, is behind them at 38, followed by China at 31, along with Great Britain, which has always surprised me because Great Britain's not that big. And they actually have 10 gold medals to go along with 10 silver and 11 bronze. So those are your top 4. Let's go to the top 5. Actually, United States, 46 overall, France with 38 overall, China with 31, Great Britain with 31, and the Australia, how about the Aussies, with 24 medals overall. Those are your top 5 countries as far as the medal rankings at this particular time. Let's go to social media and take a look and see what's going on. I believe social media is buzzing quite a bit. Let's click on social media and see what's happening. And we have our man Todd here, and he says, "Preacher, oh preacher, a lot of hype from the Falcons." He said he's going to wait and see about the Pitts. And he also is talking about the closing ceremony. He said, hope they're probably going to have a pipe and drag. And they actually said the Pope and drag. That's what he meant there. Like I said, it's just really, to me, it's a fiasco that they would have something like this in something that's seen around the world, number one. And number two, you got kids watching. And last but not least, number 3, here's the thing that's so hypocritical about people. I guarantee you, and it's still not right, but if they had something mocking Muhammad or mocking the Muslim faith, a bomb might have been off. They should be careful. They're taking shots at a religion that deals with peace and deals with love, or anything could happen. They said, I just don't know why they decided to do that. Just really stupid. But anyway, all that being said, it is what it is. That people are going to be people, and oftentimes people are going to be stupid. So that's all I got to say about that. But one thing was not stupid was what we do each and every year covering high school football. It is something that it is a labor of love. Because like I say, a lot of times the early games is blazing hot, and we got to get out there and get in the mix. But nevertheless, we said many years ago when we first started doing this that we wanted to not just talk about it, but be about it. And we feel that here in the South Side that oftentimes the sports coverage of the high school teams is not the same as it is on kids on the North Side. So for those of you who are outside of Atlanta is kind of, to me, to some degree, broken up financially between what's going on south of I-20 and what's going on north of I-20. And for those of you, again, are not from here, I-20 kind of goes east to west and kind of separates Metro Atlanta from the North Side and the South Side. And we're down here in the South Side, and I just think that we don't get the same amount of coverage unless our teams are just doing something beyond the pale. So we said when we started covering this, we wanted to give those kids coverage. And number 2, it's within our bailiwick. I can leave my job and be there relatively quickly. All that being said, Big shout out to Clayton County Public Schools. Big shout out also to Henry County Public Schools, who had their media day, and also to South Fulton and Atlanta Public Schools. All of these schools that had their media days last week, we give you a big shout out, and we are just excited that you guys are making sure that these kids are fully engaged. Because I'm gonna tell you something, athletics, when done properly, is really a quite the inspiration and foundation for young people as they grow in life. Because sports, again, when done the right way, teaches you how to play as a team, teaches you how to understand the sacrifice for the individual for the greater good of the team. It teaches you how to be disciplined. It teaches you how to obey orders and to learn how to respect people. All that stuff happens when sports is done the right way. So that's why really want to give kudos, and we also want to support those people involved in sports. And we're going to talk about that in maybe a later episode on how parents and relatives of teams have to do a better job of not lambasting coaches who are taking care of their kids. I mean, these are your kids, man. These kids are bad, and these coaches got to take care of them. All right, let's give you a little bit from the media day as we got a chance to interview a couple of young athletes. First up is my guys from Jonesboro, and this is one of the best offensive tandems on the South Side. Number 7 to number 3. And here we go from the Clayton County Media Days.
All right, guys, we're at the Clayton County Media Day, and one of our feature schools is Jonesboro High School. We've got a couple of their studs from offense that will introduce themselves to you right now. Go ahead.
My name is Jamon Jones, class 2025, quarterback.
My name is John Tevye, class 126, Jonesboro.
Last year, guys, was a lot of 7 to 3, a lot of big plays for you guys last year. What are you looking forward to as you guys come into the season this year?
We're just looking forward to doing more. Like Coach Floyd said, we're trying to do more of what we did last year. We're trying to do more of everything that we did last year. More.
We really want to make a big impact, like on the county, and so we can just put Clayton County on the map.
We got John Tavis, as you said, right close to that mic, so he's like, hey, can y'all hear me? Listen, man, it's great stuff going on. We're excited to see you guys. Now, your first game is, I guess, around the team around the corner, correct?
Yes, sir. August 16th.
That's Mount Zion High School. We're looking forward to being there. Big weekend for Clayton County. We're going to do their game, and then we have a big game also right here at the Steel Road Stadium as we have kind of a interconference game as Mays is taking on Stevenson. So keep it locked right here. Guys, introduce yourself one more time and give people your social media handle. Go ahead.
Jamon Jones, class 2025, quarterback.
Social media.
My Twitter is 7 Jamon Jones.
My name is John Tevye, I'm a class 126, 4-star, Georgia commit. And then
social media handle.
My Instagram is toohard.jonte, and Twitter is JohnTaviusW23.
All right, for you Georgia fans, you want to check this out, remember, go to our...
Just having a little fun with my young guns here. We're very excited at the media day. As you can tell, all of our diction kind of fell off the table, but nevertheless, these young men are really great guys, and I'm very excited to be a part of what they're doing down there in Jonesboro, and we're just happy that that we are seaworthy at our advanced age to still be able to go out there and hang out with the young guys. And really, it's like my grandmother told me when we were younger. As you get older, hanging around younger people is good energy. It's just good energy. Speaking of good energy, here's our interview with the North Clayton quarterback, young Mr. Justin. And here's what he had to say about the upcoming season.
Clayton County Media Days here, and we have a gentleman that's going to introduce himself to you right now.
Hello, my name is Justin J. Money Murphy. I go to North Clayton High School, QB number 2.
Look, man, how excited are you for the start of the season? Because it seems like the summer's always long, and you're waiting for football. How excited for you to get out here and start
really
playing?
I'm really excited, man. I've been waiting for this since last November, so it's time to strap it up.
And what team do you look forward to playing as you guys start the new season?
Everybody, really. We just taking one game at a time. Just going 1-0 every week, so that's our goal.
That's the best way to look at it. How can people follow you on social media so they can keep up with you during the season?
At social media, you can follow me at _JMoney, JAYMONEY_2 on IG.
See, the quarterback's always got the right handle. The J Money, quarterback in the building.
Yes,
all right, guys,
sir.
from the Clayton County Media Days, and we'll see you guys soon.
All right, thank you. Yes, sir.
Bye.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's it, guys. Just want to give you a peek at some of these young men. Again, he was from North Clayton, And Jonesboro has some great teams here. None of them overall. Only a new team, Utopian Academy, will be playing their first season at the varsity level. All right, guys, we're going to take a little break here in the action. Keep it locked right here on the Real Talk Sports Show Saturday Update. We'll be back with more in just a moment.
Are you in the market for a new vehicle? Well, check out Allen Vigil Ford Lincoln in Morrow, Georgia. We have one of the largest inventories in our area for both new and pre-owned vehicles, so we're sure to have something for everyone. Family owned and operated since 1982, customer satisfaction is our number one priority. Come see our full lineup of vehicles and find the one that best fits you. Give us a call today, 678-726-5739, or shop us 24/7 online at allenvigilford.net. Hey sports fans, tune in for live high school football Friday, 7:30 p.m. on realtalksports.net. Check out your favorite Metro Atlanta teams as they do battle on the gridiron. It's your high school game of the week, live streaming free Friday nights on realtalksports.net. For more sports coverage and great sports talk, catch the Real Talk Sports Show Tuesdays, 8 p.m. on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, or Twitch. Brought to you by Allen Vigil Ford in Morrow, a business giving back to their community. Give them a call at 678-364-3979 or check them out online at allenvigilford.net.
Coming up next, it's the Real Talk Sports Show, bringing you great sports talk with perspective. Now, here's our host, Jonathan Simmons.
All right, guys, we are back here for the second half of the Real Talk Sports Show Saturday Update. Once again, big shout out to those of you who are listening to us on the legendary WIGO, Patriot of 1570 on your dial, also on WIGO1570.com. Remember, you can follow us anywhere on social media. You can follow me personally at Minister J Sims. That's Minister, the letter J followed by SIMM, or better yet, follow the show at Real Talk Sports, the number 7. And that is true for us on any social media, including IG, Twitter, which is now X, also on Facebook, and of course on YouTube, which if you go there, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the little bell. So bing, you'll be able to get notifications whenever we are going on live. Well, I got my first look, boys and girls, last night at our Atlanta Falcons, a team that for the first time in several years is the talk of the NFL. The Atlanta Falcons, after going through some difficult years, these last couple of years of bad quarterback play and to some degree at times bad coaching, now find themselves with a team that appears to be stacked, especially on the offensive side of the ball. Falcons boast not one but 2 1,000-yard rushers, a rookie or last year's rookie, Bijan Robinson, and then before that, the Falcons season record holder for most yards by a rookie, Tyler Algiers, which, as I just mentioned, was broken by Robinson last year. So this is a team that, first of all, from the running back room is stout. And I'm going to be online to tell you right here, guys. I know everybody keeps talking about Bijan Robinson, but to me, the guy that I think is going to make a big impact on this Falcons team and is going to be a big key to how far they can go is Tyler Algiers. And the reason why I say that, Tyler Algiers is a punishing running back. And he's a guy that if you get a lead, we like to call him the closer. What I mean by that is the guy that can pick you up those tough yards where you don't necessarily want to pass the ball, where you're going to try to eat up time on the clock. I think that Tyler Algiers is that guy. And of course, Bijan Robinson is a young man that they call they always use this word, I forget, generational player. That's a big term, man. They're saying the same thing about Kyle Pitts as well. I'm still not sold on that necessarily yet. They'll have to prove it over the next 4 or 5 years for me to say that type of thing. But I hope so. And then, of course, the Falcons made a big splash by spending a staggering $180 million on Kirk Cousins, who came over from the Minnesota Vikings and is going to be the trigger man for the Falcons at the quarterback position. Now, don't get me wrong, I like Kirk Cousins. I think he's a great guy. Matter of fact, I think that after playing football, he will probably going to be a preacher. I had a chance to listen to him and watch him when he won the award last year for Man of the Year. And, man, they had to kind of almost pull him off that platform. The anointing got on him, and he started quoting scripture and got fired up, and tears were coming down. I said, we have something with Kirk. And certainly, so far, his tenure here, very limited tenure here with the Falcons, has been he is a real team guy, an energy guy, and he suits fits very well with the new head coach, Raheem Morris, and that whole kind of high energy that you see with the Falcons right now. But it gets back to what you're going to do on the field. And what I saw yesterday up close and in person is this. I saw what, you expect to see. I saw what apparently was a quarterback who was still kind of gingerly making his way through recovering from an ACL, and a guy that looked like he was, like a 35-year-old quarterback recovering from an ACL. His movements were a little slow. I felt were a little ginger. Now, that's just me. And I guess because the contrast between a guy that created a lot of controversy when he was drafted, I'm talking about Michael Penix, QB2, and the heir apparent to Mr. Kirk Cousins once Kirk finishes his tenure here in Atlanta, whether it be 2 years at the start or 3 years at the start or whatever it may be. But the contrast was quite striking. Like I said again, Kirk looking like a guy coming back from injury, looked a little. I mean, he was going through all of the progressions. Everything was fine, but when Michael Penix came out, there was a crispness to his play, which you'd expect that a 25-year-old guy was able to move around very nicely in the pocket. When there was some pressure, he was able to step in, step out, Tom Brady-ish, and then a couple of times when it required, he turned the corner and was able to pick up a couple of yards to extend drives. And so I guess I can just say in a nutshell, Falcons fans, we got something to look forward to. The hope is that Kirk Cousins will, in fact, be balling out, at least for these first 2 years for sure, and providing us with multiple trips to postseason and hopefully a run to the Super Bowl. Which, I know it sounds crazy. It could happen this year. It could, because all the pieces are in place. Now, the wild card is a couple of things. Number one, as much as everybody talks about the Falcons and their offensive line, the offensive line is a great run blocking offensive line. There's still question marks on how good they are as far as protecting the quarterback, because we saw several times last year that Desmond Ridder, who's much more nimble than Kirk Cousins, found himself under heavy pressure oftentimes in games. So I'm just wondering if, in fact, this offensive line has what it takes to be able to keep Kirk up and running. Because like I said, Kirk can't run. So I'm just wondering how well our pass offense is going to be. The other thing, too, is on defense, the question is going to be, do we now have everybody healthy enough to be able to get quarterbacks on the ground, especially mobile quarterbacks, because that's going to be put to the test right off the rip. We're facing a Pittsburgh team that can run not one, but two very agile quarterbacks at you. One of them we've already played, and we had a mixed review. First time we played Chicago when they had Justin Fields. We were able to bottle him up pretty good. The next time, not so much. And, of course, Russell Wilson has always been able to play fairly well about the Falcons, fairly well against the Falcons. But fortunately for the Falcons, he has not been able to beat them. We watched them lose to the Falcons twice in postseason. So, we've seen what Russell Wilson can do, and he's no longer Russell Wilson in his prime. But the big question still is going to be, can the Falcons find the ability in a pass rusher or a combination of pass rushers to get quarterbacks on the ground? Because if not, this offense is going to have to score a lot of points. And you say, well, brother, hang on. They didn't score that many points last year, and they still seem to do fairly well. That's true, but if you look at the lineup of teams that the Falcons have to play this year, a lot different. You have the two-time defending Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs. You have the Super Bowl finalists from just 2 years ago, Philadelphia Eagles, with one of the best mobile and agile quarterbacks in the game, and Jalen Hurts. And then, of course, at Kansas City, you have probably the ultimate quarterback right now in what you have there with Mahomes. And, oh, by the way, you got fake Dak Prescott, if I can say the words out of my mouth. So the Falcons have their work cut out for them as far as being able to, like I said, shut down quarterbacks and beat good teams. So we're going to see right off the rip. Here's how I look at it, guys. If the Falcons can come up with the same record they had last year, I don't know how they do it, which is 2-2 in these first 4 games, then I think this team has a legitimate opportunity to really do some work. Now, if they start off 1-3, that's going to be problematic. And that could happen because, like I said, they have a tough opening 4 games. But again, from what I saw last night, just to get to the point, this team looks like it can do some damage, especially if Kirk Cousins continue to come back and to heal and get comfortable recovering from his Achilles. And if the offensive line can give him some suitable pass blocking, because just watching him throw the ball was really, he throws the ball extremely well. But I got to tell you, man, Michael Penix, man, that guy throws a nice ball. I mean, the spiral, the way the ball comes out of his hand, you can see why the Falcons, are very interested in getting this young man. And look, those of you who watch this show, when I talked about Michael Penix last year, I thought he was a top 3 quarterback. And I actually had picked Washington to win the national title last year because of his play. Now, of course, he was facing a Michigan team that was a juggernaut, could not be stopped, and the rest was history. But I just liked the way he played. He just seemed to throw a beautiful ball, and he seemed to be just mobile enough to get himself out of trouble. So, yeah, the Falcons got a lot to look forward to. One last thing. I know everybody keeps talking about Pitts being this generational player, and everybody's looking for him to have a big year. I'm telling you guys, keep your eyes on Drake London. I think this is going to be his breakout season. I think he, barring injury, will be a Pro Bowler. I'm watching him in practices. This guy is a man on a mission. He's catching every single ball. High balls, low balls, contested ball. I watched yesterday. He had 2 or 3 catches where he was back shoulder. He had another catch where he literally wrestled the ball out of, the defender's hands. Very Julio Jones as far as his ability to catch balls in traffic. Now, of course, he didn't have the speed, the top end speed of Julio. But at the end of the day, I think Drake London is going to have a huge year for the Falcons. And he's going to be one of the reasons why this team goes deep into the playoffs. That's why I'm going to say it again. Playoffs. Yes, playoffs. Yeah, deep into the playoffs. I think this team has, again, all it needs and all it's going to require to get themselves, into a deep postseason run. And the pathway is to win a minimum of 10 games, to win the NFC South, which guarantees your home game in the first round of the playoffs. And then once you get in the playoffs and you have a home game, anything is possible. Just saying, anything is possible from that point. So that's what I saw last night. The other thing I saw, which was pretty cool, is that the Falcons players, this group of players, what's the word I'm looking for? They seem to be different. I mentioned this before, and looking at the guys that the Falcons drafted and looking at the way this coaching staff is constructed and talking to some of these guys, it seems like it's almost a spiritual thing. Raheem Morris really seems to be coaching along the style of his former coach and mentor, Tony Dungy. It's about nice guys. It's about family guys. It's about guys doing the right thing. I watched these guys come over and sign autographs and how much time they took with the fans and selfies and everything. And you'll see if you want to on Instagram. I'll have a bunch of them posted up as we go through the day. But it's just a vibe. There's a good energy. That's what I'm looking for. I felt a good energy, even amongst the fans. Fans seem very hopeful and energetic. Of course, everybody seems that way at the beginning of the season, but it just seems different. There seems to be a different vibe. There seems to be like I said, nice guys finishing first. That's Raheem Morris. If I had to encapsulate the Raheem Morris regime, he wants to let you know that nice guys can in fact finish first. Well, speaking of finish, we got to be finished here because we have a show coming up behind us here on the legendary WIGO page to the 1570. Well, I told you guys, I'm a guy of multi talents and facets. So one of the things I will remind you, I am a preacher of the gospel. And so I can't let you off the air. Let's remind you of how important it is for you to have a relationship with God through his son, Jesus Christ. If you don't have that, it's real easy to do it. Number one, repent of your sins. Just admit, you're wrong and God's right. Then believe that his son, Jesus Christ, mighty Yahshua HaMashiach, came and died for your sins and then rose from the dead. If you do that, 2 great things happen. Number one, you become a citizen of the kingdom of heaven. And number 2, you become an adopted child of God with all the rights therein. That means you're not got to go to God like a heavenly parent, asking for what you need or desire, and according to his will, he'll give it to you. And when you die, you go to that happy place called heaven. No more pain, no more sorrow, no more dying. You avoid that nasty place called hell, where you be locked up with the devil and all his demons and cut off from God and all the people of love forever and a day. I don't know about you, but like option number 1 instead of option number 2. All right, guys, until the next time we get back together again, as we always say it to you, God bless you and have a wonderful rest of your day or evening, whichever may apply. So long. Take care.